So it's been a few weeks now since the American Heart Association released some new dietary guidelines encouraging people to get more protein from plants instead of meat. Today, we want to talk more about plant-based proteins, particularly those that are processed, because now you're throwing the processed word into the mix. So
that's different.
Yeah.
9 News health expert Dr. Payal Kohli joins us now. And I guess, first of all, if we're not familiar, what is a processed plant protein? That's a lot of P's.
Good alliteration, though.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And you guys said it perfect. So, I mean, we're used to tofu, beans, nuts, you know, the usual, normal, healthy types of plant-based proteins. But now, in an attempt to get most of America off of red meat, there are these fake meats that are being made.
Oh, Impossible stuff?
Impossible Burger, Beyond Meat. These are these processed plant-based proteins from pea protein or soy protein, whey protein, other types of protein. They go through an industrial reformulation. They get additives. They get texture, they get taste, they get flavors, because they're meant to look and taste and feel like a piece of beef when you're eating them. And I've tried it. I've never had beef, but to me, it tastes like meat. Even
You've never
the
had
chicken
beef,
ones.
ever?
I've never had beef. I've had chicken, but it tastes like meat. Have you guys tried these or?
Nope.
No, I mean, we're both meat eaters, but I feel like, okay, well, let's compare it to some things.
Yeah.
Is it better than chicken, fish, lentils, beans, tofu? Do you have to take those one at a time? Or?
Yeah, well, let's start with the first
Okay.
one. Is it better than processed red meat? This was actually a randomized trial
Yeah.
out of Stanford. It's called the swap meat study, where they had you eat processed red meat, like bacon, for example, and then they had you switch to these fake meats. So very slightly better, which was a surprise to me as a cardiologist, because I thought it would be substantially better. But it lowers your cholesterol a little bit more to eat the fake meat. It gets you a little more weight off, gets your blood pressure down a little bit lower. But the effects were modest, not significant. Now, your next question, Phil, was what? Chicken or fish?
Chicken or fish.
No, we don't think so. So we think probably it's not better than eating chicken or fish, which are lean meats, which is really what we should focus on as part of a Mediterranean heart-healthy diet. And if you compare it to tofu, lentils, and other plant-based meats that come in nature, inferior. So you definitely don't want to be making slops.
This is good for us.
Good for the carnivores.
Good for us.
Well, but you guys are going to cut out your bacon. You're going to cut out your hamburger.
that's really what
You're
bacon.
focusing on.
salami.
And if you're getting the other meat, or you're going to buy chicken, or even if you do buy red meat every once in a while, like if you're getting organic and cleaner meat, that's better too, right?
So only once a week. So red meat,
Okay.
really, honestly, I would give it a red light, because if you enjoy eating it, you should eat it, but not so much for your health, because it activates something called TMAO in your intestines, which is associated with cardiovascular risk. It's full of saturated fat. It raises your bad cholesterol. So red meat's kind of like your cheat food once a week if you want, but high quality, like you said. Chicken and fish are your kind of main go-tos. That's your source of protein. That's what you want to eat. And then if you're completely plant-based, someone like Sam, for example, then you really want to focus on those healthy plant-based meats.
So, I mean, it's like sometimes when people say, you know, read the ingredient list. If it goes like this long, it's probably not good for you, right?
Yeah.
So some of these fake meats have some of all this stuff in it.
They have tons of stuff in it, Kim, not to mention the sodium content would kill a cardiologist. And so it's not a good idea to have those every single day. And I'm, you know, mostly plant-based, and I've sort of been reaching for those more because it's easy, and I think I'm putting protein in my meals, but you're getting a ton of sodium, getting saturated fat from the coconut oil, getting all these additives. Now, in a parallel fashion, we're developing something called lab-grown meats. This is very interesting. This is not the same thing as a fake meat that's made processed out of, you know, plant protein. This is actually taking cells, animal cells, but growing them, replicating them to make lab chicken or lab beef. So you don't have to kill the animal. You can actually make it so that it's nutritionally a little bit better for you. It doesn't have hormones or antibiotics or any of these other things that we give the real animals. And that's becoming a real trend. And that actually may be heart healthier. We still need more data on that.
That sounds reasonable.
As long as I don't know what's grown in a lab, I could eat it, I suppose.
So if I put it on your plate and you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
But as a cardiologist, I'm telling my patients, if you're going to do fake meats, use it as a transition food to get you off of the processed red meats, but it's not your destination.
Not your destination. Baby steps, Phil. Baby steps for us. Okay, thank you, Dr. Kohli.